All right, guys, so we got special guest star today, and it's actually not a baby video. We're just doing a different video. Are you excited?
Oh, I don't know the questions, so I'm kind of nervous.
So I have, I think, 10 questions here of just interesting questions. I saw Samantha Ravindal's podcast about answering just like the internet's burning questions, and I was like, that sounds fun. I don't think that most of these are the same as hers, but I'll link her video down below so that you can see that. So here we go. What do you have something to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, so what is it like asking 10 questions and like random like things about?
Yeah, just whatever.
Life? Okay.
Yeah, like
Right.
I got some of them from the internet. I just searched like Reddit, and then the others I just came up with.
Okay.
So we'll see. All right. First question. I asked this one because we both like music and in different ways, I think.
Yeah.
So in those first few seconds, are you hoping that it's Ice Ice Baby or Under Pressure?
Um, I'm hoping it's Under Pressure, but both of them are from my era, so I have fond memories of Vanilla Ice and but Under Pressure because I think Queen was like an amazing band, and Freddie Mercury was a cool guy, and I'm like I like that song much better.
See, I'm okay with either one.
Yeah.
But I hope kind of that it's Ice Ice Baby just because it's funny.
Back in the 90s, I actually was more of a Vanilla Ice guy than a MC Hammer because it was back then it was those two, and I was more of a Vanilla Ice because Hammer was a little over the top. He had like on stage 50 people, 100 people dancing, and he
And
was
the pants.
well, both of them had the pants,
Oh.
but they were like Vanilla Ice was he was more real, uh, which is people are gonna be laughing when I say that because he was kind of like he was phony and fake,
Yeah.
but he was more like normal compared to Hammer, who was like just this big production, 100 people, and just the songs were kind of like the Addams Family song was really whack. I remember I hated that song, and some of his other songs like Hammer Don't Hurt Me or some of that kind. Yeah, it was like just whack. I actually liked him when he went to Death Row, but that was like in the late 90s, and he was a little bit more hardcore or was a gangster rap at that point.
Do you want to tell us the story about the difference between the two songs?
What songs?
Ice Ice Baby and Under Pressure?
I don't really know what the difference is. Why?
You told me before about the...
Oh, well, I think everybody knows,
It's just funny the way you say it.
Yeah, it was like...
Can you say it for us?
It was like on the behind the scenes of Vanilla Ice on VH1 where he was... Oh, no, this was actually in the early 90s he was asked because I think Queen and David Bowie sued him, and he was just kind of like, what was it, like the beat was like ding 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 ding, and then he's like, mine has ding 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 ding, and he's like, that's... So it's totally different or something like that, and I just remember like loving it because he was just so goofy because like he really thought somebody was gonna fall for it. So it was really funny. But look at the look up the clip because it's hilarious, especially when you find out later like Suge Knight and the guys put him upside down from the balcony and all that kind of stuff. Just like the dude was asking for it.
Now, do you think that he was the original Eminem?
Trying to think like the original Eminem. Like I'm sure some people will say that, but like trying to think in the 80s who else was there? Like there was like really, I guess you can say the original Eminem, but
because Eminem loves to take credit for being like the first white rapper, but I mean, wasn't Vanilla
I
Ice?
don't does he really take credit for it?
Well, he did that one song, I think.
It's like MC Search, I think his name was.
Oh, what about that one? Snow. I love that song.
Well, I think Snow was more reggae, right? Like,
yeah, he was. But
like,
it was similar,
Yeah.
In like fast talking. Yeah. Okay, so that was a good one. My eye's watering really bad now. Which conspiracy theories do you think are true?
Conspiracy theory. Trying to think. Well, you go ahead.
I'll tell you mine. So I think that, because I just listened to a podcast on this, so I think that Diana was killed by the royal family or someone involved with them. I think that's one that I could say is true. And I won't go so far as to say that I'm a flat earther, but I think it's fascinating, and I think that if they were to come out years from now and say, like, oh, the earth is flat, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
I can't believe you really believe that. That one makes me like question who I married, kind of thing. Like,
no, I didn't say that I believe it. No.
Like,
I didn't say I believe it. I'm saying
you entertain it. That one's just. I mean, look, I'm happy that you'll hear them out, but like, those people are a little weird, and
I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, I think it's round.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, well, you know what, it is actually flat. I'd be like, okay, all right.
Man, what conspiracy theory do I believe?
What about the moon landing?
No, I believe all that kind of stuff, but
what about Marilyn Monroe?
Was
she killed by JFK or his people?
I don't know. But I mean, I guess with JFK it would be a good one. I do believe it was like it was an inside job, and I think that he was too independent, and he was not listening to like the CIA. I think the CIA was the one who killed him. Is who I think it was, because Cuba was actually run by the mob, or it was the government in Cuba was friendly to the mob, and then when Castro overthrew it. What happened was JFK signed a thing or he didn't sign it, but he had an agreement with the Soviet Union that he wouldn't invade Cuba, and I think the mob and everybody was pissed off at him, so I think they killed him. So I think that's probably the conspiracy I would go with. But I don't know, like what other conspiracy theories, because I've like the lizard people. I listen to podcasts. Chris Jericho, he's a wrestler. And he's a big conspiracy guy, and he always has guests on who has like all kinds of conspiracy theories. This one week he had past 2 weeks he had a guy the alien guy, right? Like, remember you kind of heard a little bit.
Yeah, I heard a little bit.
And Jericho's a big believer in all this kind of nonsense. And the dude was getting annoyed with him because Jericho was trying to like ask questions to like help his listeners understand what this guy's talking about, and the dude took it like that Jericho actually didn't believe. Yeah, and he was getting kind of annoyed with Jericho, which is funny to listen to. But I could not listen to. It was about aliens.
Well, do you think that they exist?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think that the government is hiding it from us?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I do think they exist, and I'm sure like.
Are they green or do they look more like us?
I don't really know. I do think that they were here before us, and we learned a lot of the things that we know. We learned from them.
The ancient astronaut theory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what
I believe that too.
That would be more like realistic and stuff. But so that's that.
Yeah. I'm just laughing about you being shocked that you married a flat earther.
Yeah, that's a.
I don't believe it, but it's believable.
Yeah, I know. Just some of the people who believe it are just weirdos, man.
Okay, so if you won the lottery, and we're talking like billions upon billions, like the most amount that you could ever win, after you pay off the house or debt or whatever, what's your first fun purchase?
The fun purchase?
Yeah. It could be any amount.
You know what? I'd like it to be us building a house somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Where we can actually have like a mini airport where we can land our own plane and stuff.
Are we flying the plane too?
No.
Okay, I mean, I don't want to fly.
I'd like to learn how to fly, but but we can build our own house. You know what I mean? Like a basketball court and so something like that would be really cool. So it's like everything we need is there, So that would be something cool to build.
No, I agree, but that does kind of include a house. So do another one.
I mean, I would definitely be some cars then.
Okay. What would be your first car?
The first one would be a Nissan GTR.
Okay.
And then it would be like a Porsche. Which Porsche, I don't know. I'd have to go look at it and then check out which one I want.
Uh-huh.
But it would be one of those two. And then I don't really care for all these like supercars and stuff because you got to, worry about like damaging it and you can't put a lot of miles on it and all this kind of stuff. I'd rather just have a daily driver. That'd be my thing.
Yeah.
I think I would definitely love to have a, Rolls Royce, so like we actually go out somewhere and stuff like that. We could, have some nice ride in.
I would pay Meatloaf to come give me a personal concert.
See this one again, just like it's up there with the flat Earth. It's like,
I mean, I feel like he's really good. That's a good one. He's good. I mean, you don't have to come to it.
I wouldn't. So.
Okay, if you could have any exotic animal as a pet, and it would never turn on you, never kill you in the middle of the night, it would always be docile, what would you have?
Don't really want any freaking animal, man. Like, because you know what's going to end up happening is it's like the dogs where I'm the one like taking them out, walking. I always feel like I'm walking behind them, like, what's going on? What are they doing? So I don't want like another animal and stuff. I mean, it would be cool to have like a farm though, just with cows and all that kind of stuff, But it would be like in a nice area where the weather's not going to get cold, so we can kind of let them out in the field and like do their thing, So that'd be something like that.
I would have a capybara.
Which I don't want because that's like a rat.
No, it's a very big guinea pig.
It's a rat.
And it loves to swim. I mean, how can you not love that?
I've seen Alexa Bliss. She's the wrestler. She's got a guiney pig. Is it a guinea pig? No,
she has a pig.
Pot-bellied pig.
It's two completely different things.
And this thing is like massive, and like I don't want any like animal like that can't take care of itself.
Well, they can't take care of themselves.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't want any more. I mean, I'd rather have like cow that roams the field, where I don't have to worry about nothing.
Oh, you know what? I thought of another conspiracy.
What?
Do you think the Illuminati is real?
I do think that there's an upper class
powers that be.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, because that kind of ties into this next question. So a lot of famous people have very bad things happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Does fame have a price that you agree to pay, or does it just attract tragic people? Do the powers that be come to you and be like, listen, we'll make all your dreams come true, but at some point something will happen, or does it just attract that kind
I think
of
it just
person?
attracts because it's people who's willing to put themselves out there, and then those are usually the people who kind of make it, but they're also kind of just risk takers, so of course they're just gonna like make bad decisions. Not every decision is going to be good because we made bad decisions, but we're not in the public eye. So
true, I would agree with that.
Yeah, but I do think once you make it, I think that they do come and tempt you and say, hey, you know what, if you do this or that, you could even be more, famous or rich or whatever, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, if Fogo and Lydia could talk, but they may not be the people we thought they were, would you still want them to talk?
Yeah, I do. Because at least then they can tell me when they need to go to the bathroom and, and things like that. Because
I just kind of have this fear that, like, what if Lydia came up and she talked like some 80-year-old smoker lady and she's, like, real, like, rough? Or
that she, like, tells you, she's like, I never really liked you.
I know.
You just... and by the way, I'm not like a baby. I'm a fully grown adult. Yeah.
That's true, because the voices that we have for them aren't definitely not how they would probably really talk.
I would take it though, just so I can know if they got to go to the bathroom, if they're hungry, like whatever they need, so I can like make my life easier. I'll just I'll deal with it.
Even if we found out that they were like real jerks.
Yeah.
I think that I would want them to. But I think I would be a little shook if they weren't how we thought that they were. Also, just to piggyback off of that, do you think that they have names for us as humans? Like, we call them names. Do you think that they call us names, or do they just call us what we
I'm
call
sure
each
they
other?
do. You know, it's like they something. You know, because you know, like Lydia can be very affectionate and like kind. Then other times she's like
ruthless.
About regarding food and stuff like
Yes.
that. She can be like real ruthless,
Uh-huh.
and it kind of goes to show you like sometimes she can be very. She's not the like the sweet little dog that we think she is sometimes. She can be real sneaky. So I'm sure like if she could talk, we would be kind of like, more like she'd think she was a jerk than anything,
Yeah.
Because Fogo, we know he's kind of like he's a moody guy.
Yeah.
But her, I think she would be like the shocker.
Yeah, I think so too. Everyone says that they want world peace. So let's assume that world peace is attainable.
Mm-hmm.
Is it sustainable?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And when you say world peace, do you mean like war only? Or do you mean like
everyone just lives in complete harmony? Everything, like nobody disagrees, nothing. If we could get to that point, would it stay that way?
I think it's, actually, I think it's, if we're talking about that, like, and not, now that I had more time to think about it, I think we can get there,
We can get there, but can we stay there?
Yeah, I think so. Because when you look at cultures like Japan and other countries where like they have low crime and they get what's the word they work together and stuff like that. I think if a few countries can do that, we as humans can do that, and I think we're getting there. I think we're going in the right direction.
I think that we could get there and maybe stay there for a while, but I think that eventually our human nature will take over. I just don't think that we can get along like that for long periods of time.
I think the thing is I think we can get along, but I think like we won't like do anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be more like the southern thing of saying, "Oh, bless your heart," kind of insult,
Yeah.
I think it'll be insults like that.
Well, but then do those grow into larger?
Because I think like at that point we would realize we don't need to allow people in our lives who are toxic.
Mm-hmm.
We would just kind of. I think we'd be better at cutting those kind of people out of our lives.
Do we cut them out like with a knife? Or because they would still be there like festering.
Yeah.
Do we get rid of those type of people?
No, just don't interact with them.
Uh-huh.
Look at it now. We have a lot of people, just kind of like on Facebook. You have a lot of people you don't get along with, and you remove them, and then you're done.
True. So you can be the richest person in the world for 10 years, but then you lose it all. You can't keep anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you keep the life that you have now?
I just keep the life that I have now.
I think so too, because my thing would be, how do I lose it all? Like, do I end up going to prison because I did something bad? Or did somebody just come along and take it away? Like, whereas if we have the life we have now, there's nothing stopping us from becoming the richest person. Yeah. And then we could just keep it.
Right. And losing it and like, that, like you said, how are we going to lose it and how is our lives after that? And it's just kind of like, I'm not willing to gamble. Yeah.
How long would you last in a zombie apocalypse?
Not that long because we live in the suburbs. So we're surrounded by a lot of people, man.
True.
Yeah.
They do move slower than us though. So I think I would feel pretty secure in the fact that I can move faster than them for a little while.
Yeah.
But, I don't think that we
Except
would last.
we would be carrying like two dogs, a capybara, and like, God knows what else.
Oh, the baby too. Let's not forget him.
So we would be like dragged down, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What if the dogs became zombies?
There you go.
I wouldn't be able to kill them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to unless Lydia was talking. Okay, last one. If you had to be the victim of a serial killer, alive or dead, which one would you want to be the victim of? This is a good one because we both listen to like serial killer podcasts a lot.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of serial killer podcasts, and I'm trying to think which one I would want to be killed by, and
you think on it.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
I'm gonna say Gacy because he's from my area, right? And also, I don't think he was into like full grown people.
He was into gay. He was gay.
Exactly. So if I had to be his victim, he wouldn't like keep me around and play with me, and he'd just off me and be done with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not his type. So I think that's the one I'd go with. Because he's less likely to want to like play with his food,
Yeah. I'm trying to think, man. I think it would be that guy, like, what's the guy from Mindhunter?
Ed Kemper.
Yeah, because he killed
but then he would cut your head off.
Well, he killed his victims immediately, and then did everything later. So I rather like him doing that way. I don't want to be like alive, getting tortured and stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing, That's why I wouldn't want Gacy because he wouldn't really want to like mess around with me.
Do you know anything that he did? Like you don't know, so he.
But if it was only like gay guys or kids, well then I should be, he'd just be like, oh, let's just get rid of him.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want to like mess around while I'm alive.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be into it.
Yeah. So, like, there's a lot of serial killers to pick from.
Yeah.
And an interesting thing you guys should know is there's a lot of serial killers out there right now.
Yeah.
They're being arrested all the time. The media really doesn't dwell on it because of the serial killer that was arrested in Texas, I think a couple of years ago. They announced last week or the week before that he's killed the most people in his lifetime. He traveled from Texas to like other states and stuff like that. That's why he was hard to get capture because he was killing people in different states and stuff like that. And I think they said probably over 100 people. And there was one like in Mexico. Some guy was with his wife. They were killing people in Mexico City, like together and stuff like that, old ladies and stuff.
Wow.
And then in Michigan last summer, they found they arrested a guy who had, I don't know how many, 30, 40 VHS tapes of females that he.
Ooh.
And I think when they arrested him, he was wanted for murder. So the police ended up saying that they had to spend, I think, $20,000 to transfer it into like a DVD or digital, these VHS tapes, so they can go and watch it and then try to put together if these females are alive or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of like crazy because, like we think of serial killers as like in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. We don't realize they're still around. And
exactly.
It's one of the things I'm glad I'm a male because most of the victims are always female.
Yeah.
So I feel sorry for females that like, the females are always being killed and stuff like that. And I'm sorry.
There's a couple truck driving serial killers too, which is scary.
Yeah. I was listening to one who was a truck driver and he was kind of creepy. Yeah, because he actually. Well, but this guy kept the girls alive and in his truck, and he was torturing them. And so he didn't just kill them; he tortured them, and then like killed them later and stuff like that. But yeah, man. So be on the lookout, girls. These guys. Don't worry about the incels. What you need to worry about is like serial killers because they exist. They're out there, and they're looking for you.
I also feel like we've came across some just like the odds are in our favor because of what we do and how far we travel and stuff. I feel like we've came across some and just not known it.
Dude, there's been a few people in my life that I've come across that I got a really bad vibe from,
Mm-hmm.
like, just kind of creeped me out. One time I had, there was a guy who really scared me because I got a bad vibe from him. But, he didn't do anything wrong. You can't, like,
Yeah.
suspect anything, but, what do you call it? Always have something on you and stuff like that, man,
Yeah.
because I always carry my knife on me. So
Yeah,
I'm
which
ready
is
to,
probably not legal, but if a serial killer's coming after you,
yeah,
who cares?
right, exactly. So you want to be ready, man, because you don't know, what's going to happen.
Yeah, because
And
one time I went to the rest area, I think it was in New Mexico, and it was kind of like middle of the nighttime. And I walked in, and I always kind of like check and see like if any of the stalls are occupied. But I really had to pee, like real bad. And I walked by just to check and see, and then after I had went into my stall, it clicked with me that there was someone or something in one of the other stalls because I could see through the cracks. And it legit just looked like someone almost wearing like a garbage bag,
yeah,
like as a poncho,
yeah.
and like just crouched on the toilet. And my pants were already down, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be killed in this bathroom. I did my thing and got up. No wiping, no nothing. Just ran out of there because you never know. Like
You said no wiping number one, right?
yes,
Okay. But, like, I had some incidents also. She actually knows about all these
yeah,
incidents I've had with the restrooms. The one in Dallas, oh no, I'm Texas. I mean, in the middle of nowhere. I went to a rest area, broad, like daylight. It was like what, 2 in the afternoon or something.
yeah.
And I went to use a bathroom, and as I'm going inside, I see a homeless guy. I don't know if he was homeless, hitchhiker or whatever,
Yeah.
because he had a duffel bag and everything, standing outside. And I went inside, and then I went in and I sat down, and then like, I looked through the crack, and this dude.
Is that TMI?
Yeah, it is TMI. But like, hear me out though, because I just sat down, so like I didn't like start or anything, and just this dude comes in. He puts his duffel bag down right up against the wall and sits down, and it's like staring at me through the crack.
That's creepy.
And I was like totally. And this guy is like a middle-aged, like hitchhiker or homeless guy. I don't know what he's doing, and he's like staring at me. And that's why I was like so thankful I didn't, like I just put my pants on, dude, and I was ready to throw down and stuff like that. And luckily he didn't do nothing. Maybe because he saw that I was ready to fight or something.
Yeah.
And I walked out. And then there was other time we were in the California. In the middle of the night, I was doing my break. Went to that one rest area, and there was like this homeless dude, and he had standing by his car, and it was full of all of his junk. And if you ever been to California rest areas, they're like two-sided. So one, men here, men other side. Because I think it's like
so they can clean one, close it, and open the other.
So like I went in one, and I just had to pee, and it was dirty everywhere. And for me, I like public restrooms have to be clean. I don't like them dirty. I will not use them and stuff like that. And it was I don't want to wash my hands here, so I was like, "Dude, this is nasty. Let me go to the other side." And as I was leaving that one, the homeless dude came inside the one that I was leaving. So I just like walked out, and I go to the other side, and I go into the other one, and I think I was, peeing and everything, and then like I'm about to leave, and the dude shows up to this one too, and I'm like, man, I'm like cornered in this, because it's a small bathroom. Dude, I just put my hand up and I said, "Be cool, dude. Be cool, man." And I just like was real loud and everything like that in case maybe somebody could hear me. You know what I mean? Like if I gotta do something. And I think that guy actually, when I look back on it, he was one of those restroom like blow up kind of guys.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's what that dude was like, thinking he could earn some money or something like that.
Still creepy,
Yeah.
because I mean, yeah, you never know. Like,
yeah, man.
Anybody willing to do something like that is a little off.
Like I said, he was homeless because all his stuff was in his car. So between that guy and the guy in Texas, like both of them. I mean, the guy in Texas obviously was the crazy one because he sat down and was looking at me through the crack.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like you're just like, what the hell is this guy doing,
and
man?
And sometimes those cracks are big enough that you can just see everything. Yeah. So you see the person just like sitting there watching you. That's creepy.
It is creepy. I have a funny story. I remember also, I was in Nevada one time, man. Because this goes back to my obsession with clean restrooms, and it was a major snowstorm on Interstate 80. Which, if you guys ever been, it's on that's where Reno is, because Vegas is in the south, Reno's up north, and once you get past east of Reno, there's nothing until you get to Salt Lake City, pretty much. Yeah. So that's like over 400 miles roughly. Yeah. But it was really bad snowstorm, and I had been driving for hours, dude, and I had to use the bathroom and stuff like that. But the rest area, when I pulled in, this is a very creepy rest area. First thing I had to do was walk over there, and it's covered in snow and ice and everything. I fell, and then she's laughing, but I slipped, and I hit the back of my head, and dude, I might probably got a concussion from it. It was painful. So I took several, and this is the middle of the night, so there's nobody there. Major snowstorm. I just was took a minute or two to recover, because I was in shock, because I was afraid I cracked my skull, man. And then I got up and then walked to the men's restroom, and I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm just not sliding, trying not to fall again. Get to the men's, it was like a freaking bazooka went in there, a bazooka, and I was and it's dark in there, and I'm what? No, I'm not. I said, you know what, man? After hitting my head on the concrete and almost dying in a snowstorm, I said, I'm using the woman's bathroom. I'm not using this men's, because it's like I said, a major snowstorm. There's I hadn't seen anybody on the road for a while, and this is a rest area that every time I stop in, it's
deserted.
It's deserted and creeped me out, man. So I was man, I'm just gonna use the woman's bathroom. So I go in there, and the thing about men's and women's bathroom is the men's bathrooms have urinals for us to pee, whereas girls only have toilets. So I was damn, I gotta, so whatever. And it's dark in here too for some reason. Because this is out in the middle of nowhere, so there's these things aren't maintained well. So they probably, if a light goes out, they don't probably come for maybe a month or two to change the light bulb. Yeah. Especially if they come during the daytime, the light bulb isn't on. These people probably don't test it. And so I'm going into the second to last stall, man, because that was the clean one. And I closed the door because I was kind of creeped out by, how dark it is in there. This is a serial killer, movie, dark restroom.
It's a Saw restroom.
Yeah, man, it creeped me out. I was I was just scared. And then, of all things, who comes in? A woman. A woman comes in. It's 2 a.m. or something like that. Some creepy rest area. And I cracked my skull. I'm in the woman's restroom. And I was just oh no, this is not good, because what if they're gonna think I'm a pervert?
She's gonna think I thought.
Yeah, I'm a pervert or something like that. So I quickly had my back facing the thing, because I duck down. Maybe she'll think I'm a woman or something. And she ended up going to the last stall next to me. So I'm oh my God. So I waited. She went in there, locked it. I got the hell out of there, man. I quit. Luckily, her husband wasn't waiting outside or anything like that. That's what I was nervous about.
You would have been beat down.
Well, or you would have been. I went back to the truck, and it was yeah, man, it was just kind of, I was just I couldn't believe it. How
what are the odds?
What are the odds? Yeah, just crazy. So I have a lot of restroom stories like this, and I could go on and on, but that was the top 10 questions or something like that.
Answering 10 burning questions from serial killers to bathroom habits.
Yes. And so if you guys like this, let her know if you guys like it.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Tell us maybe some of your answers to these questions down below, so that we can all have a good laugh or whatever. Definitely let us know if you're a flat earther.
Right.
But that's it. I hope we enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed the video. And we will catch you guys next time. Bye.